of Bhutan. I have with me Daso Arun Kapoor. He is an Indian, but he is the director of the Druk Gyalpo's Institute in Bhutan and board of directors of the Gelefu Mindfulness City. I have with me Mr. Rapsel Dorji. He is the Chief of Communications of the Gelefu Mindfulness City, Honorary Consul of France to Bhutan. I have with me Mr. Ugyen Tenjing. He is the Chief Editor, Business Bhutan and General Secretary of the Bhutan-Denmark Friendship Association. And I have with me Mr. Dawa Penjor, who is the General Secretary of the Bhutan-India Friendship Association of the Gelefu chapter. Gentlemen, welcome to Point of View. I would first like to start with you, Daso Lote Tshering, Governor of the Gelefu Mindfulness City, former Prime Minister. You are a medical doctor by profession. Dr. Lote Tshering, you know, in 1972, the fourth king of Bhutan, he surprised the world with something called the gross national happiness, which is almost as an alternative to the gross domestic product that all the countries follow to determine their economy and so on and so forth. Now, more than 50 years later, now the present King, His Majesty, almost on the verge of surprising the world by coming up with his vision of having a city on the border with Assam that he has named Gelefu Mindfulness City. It's a very interesting name. People outside Bhutan might wonder why the city should be named Mindfulness City. Your thoughts?
In fact, thank you very much, Mr. Hussain. When you ask this question, it really sounds like a very easy question.
Yeah.
But when you actually come to sit down and think of answering this question, I don't think any human being on this planet can actually answer this question in toto, because it has come from His Majesty the King. And in Bhutan, when His Majesty the King or His Majesty the Kings come out something public, he or they would have given lots of thoughts on that.
Right.
So as you are trying to connect between the two terms that everybody now in the world is talking about, the gross national happiness and GMC, Gelefu Mindfulness City. So I really cannot comprehend why the name, but after hearing this, we can now appreciate more and more as we interact more, as you dwell more on GNH as Bhutan's development philosophy or guiding philosophy for us, as well as now Gelefu Mindfulness City. All I can say is His Majesty the King has started writing a new chapter, both in terms of urban dwelling, urban development, as well as creating a new form of governance. So I think as we talk along, I'm sure we will be able to dwell more on the deeper chapters, and we have the experts with us. But Gelefu Mindfulness City, many people try to call it as mega city or smart city or any other urbanization,
right,
but which is absolutely not the case. It's a unique initiative by itself. So
absolutely. I'll have an opening round from all my guests before taking this conversation forward. I would now I'll come to you slightly later for an Indian perspective, because you are on both sides of the coin, Daso Arun Kapoor. Let me go to Mr. Rapsel Dorji, Chief of Communication of the Gelefu Mindfulness City. Mr. Dorji, as Daso Lote Tshering has said that new chapter. Now, do you consider the GMC, that is the Gelefu Mindfulness City, as a possible turning point itself for Bhutan?
Yes, of course, it is a turning point. It is the vision of His Majesty the King to build this special administrative region in the south-central part of Bhutan, but one that is not only an infrastructure or urban development project. This is about transforming the very future potential of our country. And it is about creating this economic prosperity that we foresee for Bhutan, but one that is very much rooted in the values of gross national happiness, in the values of Vajrayana Buddhism and mindfulness, in the ethos and the identity that makes us uniquely Bhutanese. And so I believe that it is natural for a country of gross national happiness to give birth to this city of mindfulness. This is a nation building exercise for many of us in Bhutan. But for the world, The invitation is to co-create
Yeah.
a future where you can have economic prosperity, but you can do that while preserving the environment, in harmony with nature, while preserving our value systems. And so the real challenge that Bhutan has always, I think, pioneered is how can we have this balanced growth with culture, with the environment,
Absolutely.
and with the economy. And this is just a natural extension for those of us in Bhutan.
Very well put there, Mr. Dorji. Let me turn to Mr. Ugyen Tenjing before coming to Mr. Dawa Penjor. Mr. Ugyen Tenjing, you are a journalist. You have been observing. Yes, you have been observing. The situation there, and basically, what I want to know from you is that you see, Bhutan is a country of just 800,000 people, where we had television as recently as in 1999, right? And here we are talking about now a mega city. A lot of people outside will not be able to understand this, a country of 800,000 people who had television only in 1999 and now talking about the mega city. How do you look at it?
Now, Mr. Hussain, if you look at the history, the developmental history of Bhutan, something very exciting, something very interesting is how our visionary kings came forward with different concepts, came forward with different types of transformation exercises in different eras. If you look back, you will see that decentralization came out in 1981. Okay? The first thing is decentralization. That was a way towards the complete giving up of abdication and the formation of a constitutional democratic country. What you would see is our leaders have always kept in mind whether we are ready or not, whether the people of Bhutan are ready or not to imbibe something. You just can't take something which comes to you if you are not ready. And if you're talking about television, I would like to think that that's the. By 1999, we were ready. Almost like 95% of our people were literate. It was the right time for television to be introduced in Bhutan. Yes. And now, talking about GMC, the Gelfu Mindfulness City, Dasho and all have talked about it, Gelfu Mindfulness City. Now, if you are asking why now, I would say why not now? Why not now? Because here we see, yes, you are talking about the population, but as you know, Mr. Hussain, the Gelfu Mindfulness City is opening up the doors of Bhutan to the whole world. Okay. So, at Gelfu, at GMC, you will not just see the Bhutanese, you will see the Assamese, you will see people from around the world coming there. So, if the thought is that, from a journalistic point of view, if the thought is that with a very small population, it might be difficult or it might be a hindrance to pump up, to build the city, then I would say no. Because this city will be very special. It's a project like envisaged by His Majesty the King, and I would like to say that it will be a global city.
Okay.
A global city in that.
Absolutely. Now this city, Mr. Dawa Penjor, you are the General Secretary of the Bhutan-India Friendship Association, Gelfu chapter, which is nearest to Assam. Now, this project has generated as much excitement in Assam as it has perhaps been in Bhutan. People on this side of the border are equally excited as to what it is going to be actually. People know that something big is coming up and people are happy and excited. Now, as someone who knows a lot of people on this side of the border, considering your close association with Assam, my question to you is, how do you look at this project that is coming up? How is it going to improve people-to-people relations? See, when we talk about India-Bhutan relations, at the top level, it is with government to government. That's okay. But at the end of the day, it is the people who live adjacent to each other. You crisscross our respective land to either go to Bhutan or come to India. We have all the roads access through this part. So people are generally happy and we share a very good relationship between the two sides. So are you excited? What does the future hold?
Thank you very much, Mr. Hussain. First of all, as you rightly pointed out, being the General Secretary of India-Bhutan Friendship Association, I would like to convey my love and greetings to your viewerships in India and especially to Assam. As you remarked, being on the border, that is where the heartbeat is. And I think His Majesty through this GMC has brought it closer for our relationship to even flourish. It's about shared prosperity. It's It's very important that today, if you look at all the developmental activities in Bhutan, we have mostly in the centers towards away from the southern part of Bhutan, where we share the borders with India. Now today with GMC, we have brought things very differently. It's going to be a project that is going to provide opportunity not just on Bhutan side but on the Indian side as well. So our interaction is going to increase. Our level of interaction is going to be multifold.
Right.
So through businesses, through people-to-people contact. So earlier we were talking about basically, oh, my cow has entered your city.
Yeah.
How can I bring
Get it
that
back?
Yes. Now today we're going to talk about, oh, we have businesses there. How can we do business there? How can we improve? How do you see that from GMC we flourish? And with Assam rising, with the BTR rising, things are going to be different. We see ample of opportunity there. So I believe the interaction, the connection, the friendship is going to be strengthened. The whole idea of Bhutan and India's unique friendship, the trust, the honesty, and our integrity is going to make a difference in this part.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let me turn to Mr. Arun Kapoor. I have to call you Dasho Arun Kapoor today. Now, Dasho Arun Kapoor, you know, as an Indian who have been in Bhutan for so long, who understands the psyche, understands the ethos of the country, how do you look at this Gelefu mindfulness city? And do you think, as Mr. Dawa Panjor has just said, do you think that is going to consolidate the people-to-people contact between the two countries? Because, okay, earlier it was just a friendship. Now it is going to be an economic advantage for both people on both sides of the border. How do you look at the whole development?
First of all, thank you for having us here, and greetings to your viewers and this conversation. I think it's a very important conversation. Like you said, there's not enough necessarily information on both sides as to what's happening there. So I've been, like you said, I've been there almost 15 years in Bhutan, and I see a kind of continuity from what His Majesty said at his coronation speech, and then his next speech and the next national, you know, there is I look at it from the point of view of education, which is what I'm working with. And there has always been a rising of taking the whole of Bhutan and the region forward and upwards. I think that is where we see that this is a great opportunity for a catalyst. So this, I see the Gelefu Mindfulness City as a catalyst that will raise not just Bhutan but the whole region together, opportunities that Bhutan will be able to bring into the region a whole bunch of ideas and technologies which will flow into India. And then from India would come also a reciprocal that these ideas will have been added to. So that is, I think, an opportunity that whose time has come, right? As has been said over here, the timeliness of this, and the idea that Assam is rising, India is rising, and the fact that India's time has come in many ways. If you look at it. The whole economy is going up. So this will add, Gelefu Mindfulness City will add some aspect and also gain a lot from the rising. So I think it's a win-win situation from both sides. It's and I'm really excited about the kind of thoughts, kind of technologies that will come through here and would be added to Indian growth. And hugely, after interacting from within the Indian side, it will go back into the Gelefu Mindfulness, into Bhutan, and take the region to different heights that we can't even imagine today.
Let me come back once again to Daso Lotai Chering. You know, I had the privilege of having been granted an audience by His Majesty the King in April last year in Thimphu, where, you know, I was surprised actually, let me be frank, that he did a PowerPoint presentation to me himself about the Gelefu Mindfulness City, and I realized instantly how passionate His Majesty is about this project. He said that this is a make or break project for me. He was talking like a CEO. He was not talking like the monarch of a country, or His Majesty was absolutely businesslike. My question to you is, apart from giving an indication, I got my first indication that here is a king who is absolutely passionate about this project, and he is giving it all to make this project a success. Now my question to you, Mr. Dr. Lote Tshering, is this: can you throw some light since when His Majesty may have conceptualized this idea and toying with this grand plan?
Well, Mr. Hussain, I think you are asking me all the questions that I actually don't have the answers. As you felt, how honored you felt when you had the audience.
Yes.
Which is what we all feel. For every Bhutanese in his or her lifetime, it is our dream to have at least a glimpse of our king to get the audience. So congratulations for that.
Thank you.
And as you have rightly noticed, I think His Majesty the King keeps surprising all of us, because even for us, we feel that king is a king, it's a godly figure for us. But when he comes down, shares the same platform with us and start talking on every aspect like an expert in that field, it surprises even us. So you're right that His Majesty the King now has taken it upon himself to know it by himself, and then he wants to meet the experts and talk to the experts in the same language. Now, my personal take on this is, well, being Bhutanese, being a very passionate Bhutanese, I have known our monarchs very well. Not all the monarchs, but
Right.
history and our kings very
Yeah.
well. But I got the unique opportunity to serve His Majesty the King during the most tested times, that is during COVID times.
COVID, yes.
So while everybody who knows about Bhutan feels that during the COVID we had one of the best outcomes that any nation could have dreamed about.
Absolutely.
We had
yeah.
it. But for us, to Bhutanese, I always tell them that the biggest outcome of the COVID is not what we have achieved from the disease or the pandemic, but knowing our king and the leadership in His Majesty the King was the biggest take-home message that we all got. So here I have realized that for any person to be successful leader, I personally feel a couple of factors must be there.
Yeah.
One, he or she should be visionary. Second, he or she should have the intellectual capacity to bring his vision into action.
Yeah.
And that person should have the authority to do it. And the fourth factor, which I personally find is very important, is he or she should be well regarded, well respected, well accepted by the subjects. All these four factors being undoubtedly present in our current king, I think this is a unique window for us. So I'm happy that you have noticed that. I think many international dignitaries that I meet keep saying this, that we thought His Majesty the King will not be so humble,
Absolutely.
yet so astute, will be knowing about every detail of the businesses that he wants to propose. So you're right, and for GMC, he's the executive chair of the project.
Absolutely.
And you have rightly heard, and we also heard many times that he's putting his neck on the line.
Absolutely.
So
He said that.
yes,
He
yes,
used that
yes,
word,
yes.
actually.
Therefore, us being passionate Bhutanese, when we hear that, it touches every corner of our heart. So we feel like giving everything, including
Possible.
our lives, if there's anything that comes on the way of His Majesty achieving his vision for GMC. So I
That's
think Bhutanese people, even during the airport works, when His Majesty and the members of the first family came down to showcase how important the project is, every Bhutanese from every corner of the country and Bhutanese living abroad wanted to come and donate a little bit of their time.
I sorry to interrupt
Yeah,
you
yeah,
here.
sure.
Those visuals of His Majesty personally carrying some logs, clearing the jungles, the princess carrying the jungles, those were very, very poignant pictures. There's a very, very telling message to the whole world, not just to Bhutan. That those pictures, whether it is a still pictures of the young princess clearing the jungles, or led by His Majesty and Her Majesty, I think that's very, very rare to see in the world today.
True, that's what I was trying to hint at, because while volunteerism is always there, everybody would like to come and be part of history-making process, no
Yes.
doubt about that. But when the members of our first family, His Majesty the King, Her Majesty the Queen, and rest of the family members came down and did that, the real show started after that and still going on.
Yeah.
Every Bhutanese from anywhere in the world starts calling us.
Want to volunteer?
Yes. And then many of them want to come down there in Gelefu, where I live, camp there and start volunteering as long as it is required. So that is clearly proven what His Majesty mentioned during 2023 National Day when he announced GMC project, and during last National Day that GMC will not be any other project. It will be people's project. Everybody is coming forward to own it.
Absolutely.
So I'm convinced beyond any doubt that His Majesty is not just a popular figure. He is well regarded, well liked, well respected, but he can turn around things like no other leader in the world.
Absolutely. And coming from you, Dr. Chering, I think it means a lot. And you have what we have been observing from a distance through media reports, through television clips, that is coming from you, that has clarified a lot. I think that goes a lot to understand His Majesty and the First Family, how they lead from the front, how they enjoy the respect and reverence of every single Bhutanese. Let me come to you, Mr. Rapsal Dorji. There is a concern. See, you are a country of just 800,000 people. Now, roughly about 70,000 youths are outside, abroad. Most of them are in Australia. The estimate is about 70,000, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. Let's not go into that. That's not important. Now, will GMC, as and when it comes up, also be able to prevent brain drain? And will it also succeed in getting some of the successful Bhutanese back to the country? How do you look at it?
Well, we acknowledge, I think, that there is an out-migration of a lot of young Bhutanese, capable young Bhutanese, who are seeking pastures outside of Bhutan for opportunities, economic and otherwise. And the GMC is not necessarily a response to that. The GMC is much more
bigger,
about opportunities. There's a much bigger picture. It's about unlocking the opportunities that we foresee for the larger South Asian region. Of course, driven primarily by India, but one that we believe that Bhutan can also take advantage of. I think a lot of countries are facing the same issues that Bhutan is facing at a smaller level. And with the growth of the Gelefu Mindfulness City, we believe that it will translate into the success of Bhutan. It must also translate into the success of Assam, of the larger Northeast India, of the larger Indian region, of the larger South Asian region. And so the GMC is about lifting all boats. The rising tide of GMC lifts all the boats in our entire neighborhood. With that starting point, it is also about economic growth. And so with that economic growth, we believe that the GMC will be able to prevent certain out-migration because the opportunities will be found within our own country by our design, according to our strategy, with our interest in mind. And we also know that with the GMC, we'll be able to attract many young Bhutanese who have gone outside for opportunities to come back into the country. So the reframing is important, and this is the point of view as your show is about. It's about looking at this out-migration as an investment of our young Bhutanese so that they can gain capital, gain skills, knowledge, network, a kind of exposure.
Come back and contribute to the nation.
Come back and contribute to the nation. We already see amazing remittance coming back into the country. When we went to Australia last year, we spoke to the majority of the Bhutanese diaspora based in Australia. We spoke to them. Every one of them wants to come back. Every one of them is wearing a ko with the badge of the king. And so that's
the Bhutanese restaurants
the Bhutanese restaurants are there. And so it was so encouraging for us to see that. And what it means is at the hearts of heart, they want to come back. They've told us so as well. It is our job in GMC to ensure that we have this curating, enabling environment for that to happen. But that is not the only single goal of the GMC.
Absolutely.
It is one of the focuses that we have.
We'll expand on this, Mr. Dorji. Let me go to Mr. Dawapanjor once again. Mr. Dawapanjor, we also have a very dynamic leader in Assam, which is one of Bhutan's nearest neighbors. Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma, he has a different style, work style. He's a man who gets work done. He doesn't believe in bureaucratic red tape. That is why we have seen Assam progressing. Now, when I visited Bhutan last year, December, if I'm not wrong, during your National Day. When he came back and he told some people here that, we are not in competition with GMC. We want to supplement and complement the efforts of His Majesty to build the GMC. I think it's a very good thought, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think we're very fortunate to have a leader in Himanta Biswaji, and that also right in Assam, which borders Bhutan and which is going to play a crucial role with GMC. And as we read, we are talking about centuries from now.
Yeah.
We're not talking about immediate results. We're talking about future. As Rapsal pointed out, it's not about immediate ones, but rather how do we actually grow our youth, make sure that our potentials are kept in our backyards, rather than sending outside. So this is where I think Himantaji has mentioned complementing, and this is where we believe that Assam is going to play a crucial role, and GMC is going to be
Absolutely. We'll go for a short break, but don't go away. I'll be right back. I'm in conversation with a set of very special guests from Bhutan. We are talking about His Majesty's grand vision to build the Gelefu Mindfulness City right across the border with Western Assam.
Crafting Hope, Udayachal's handmade fundraising event. Join us for a unique and meaningful experience. Udayachal proudly presents a handmade fundraising event. Event details: date 8th August, time 12:30 p.m. onwards. Venue, City Center, ground floor. Your steps in our journey will take us a long way. Your support will make a tangible difference in the lives of those in need. Contact 9101 654 676 and 8811 80361. Let's craft a brighter future.
কেৱল কেমিকেলেৰে প্ৰস্তুত কৰা ডিছৱাছৰ প্ৰয়োগে কোটি কোটি মহিলাৰ হাতৰ অনিষ্ট কৰিছিল। সেয়েহে আমি প্ৰথমবাৰৰ বাবে ছাই, নিম আৰু নেমুৰে পতঞ্জলি সুপাৰ ডিছৱাছ বাৰ তথা লিকুইড প্ৰস্তুত কৰিছো। তেল চিকটি হ'ব সম্পূৰ্ণ পৰিষ্কাৰ হাতৰ সুৰক্ষাৰ সৈতে।
প্ৰথমবাৰৰ বাবে নিযুত মইনা আঁচনিৰ ৰূপায়ণ আৰম্ভ কৰিছিলো আৰু এই আঁচনিখনে আজি গৌৰৱেৰে সৈতে দ্বিতীয় বছৰত ভৰি দিলে।
মুখ্যমন্ত্ৰী নিযুত মইনা আঁচনিয়ে আমাৰ ছোৱালীবোৰক বহুত সহায় কৰিছে। It reduces the child marriages from our society. কিতাপ পত্ৰ আমাৰ কিনিব লগা হৈছে, যোনটোৰ কাৰণে আমি নিযুত মইনা আঁচনি দি পোৱা পইচাটোৰ পৰা আমি সেইখিনি কিনিব পাৰিছো।
এই আঁচনিখনৰ জৰিয়তে ক্ৰমাগতভাৱে ইয়াৰ কলেবৰ বৃদ্ধি কৰি আমি 10 লাখ আৰু 10 লাখকে আমি এক নিযুত বুলি কওঁ। 10 লাখ ছাত্ৰীৰ জীৱনত আমি এটা যোগাত্মক প্ৰভাৱ বা ইতিবাচক প্ৰভাৱ আমি পেলাব বিচাৰো।
I am grateful to our Chief Minister, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma sir.
Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma ডাঙৰীয়াক ধন্যবাদ জনাইছো।
Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma sirক বহুত ধন্যবাদ জ্ঞাপন কৰিছো।
এই আঁচনিৰ অধীনত উচ্চতৰ মাধ্যমিক, স্নাতক, স্নাতকোত্তৰ আৰু বিএড পাঠ্যক্ৰমৰ ছাত্ৰীসকলক সামৰি লোৱা হৈছে। এই আঁচনিৰ অধীনত উচ্চতৰ মাধ্যমিকৰ একাদশ আৰু দ্বাদশ শ্ৰেণীত নামভৰ্তি কৰা প্ৰতিগৰাকী ছাত্ৰীয়ে মাহিলী 1000 টকাকৈ, স্নাতক পাঠ্যক্ৰমত নামভৰ্তি কৰা প্ৰতিগৰাকী ছাত্ৰীয়ে মাহিলী 1250 টকাকৈ, স্নাতকোত্তৰ পাঠ্যক্ৰমত নামভৰ্তি কৰা প্ৰতিগৰাকী ছাত্ৰীয়ে প্ৰতিমাহে 2500 টকাকৈ উদগনি লাভ কৰিব। ছাত্ৰীসকলে নিজ শিক্ষা অনুষ্ঠানত প্ৰপত্ৰ জমা দিব লাগিব। অধ্যক্ষ বা পঞ্জীয়কে তথ্য পৰ্টেলত আপলোড কৰিব। বিদ্যালয় মহাবিদ্যালয়ে SCERT, দৰ্পণ আৰু সমৰ্থ পৰ্টেল ব্যৱহাৰ কৰিব। নিযুত মইনা 2.0 নিযুত মইনা।
নালাগেও দাঁতৰ বিষ মোৰ
যিহেৰে তই ব্ৰাছ কৰ সেইটো টুথপেষ্ট
তই কিহেৰে কৰ
সেই আছা মই ব্ৰাছ কৰো দানকান্তিৰে ই সাধাৰণ টুথপেষ্ট নহয় টুথপেষ্ট হয়
আকাৰকাৰা লং পিপ্লিৰ দৰে 16বিধ আয়ুৰ্বেদিক তত্ত্বৰ মিশ্ৰণ যি দাঁতৰ ক্ষয় কেভিটি পায়েৰিয়াৰ বিৰুদ্ধে যুঁজে আৰু দাঁত আৰু আলু কৰি ৰাখে প্ৰাকৃতিকভাৱে শক্তিশালী
Welcome back. I am in conversation with my guests from Bhutan. We are talking about the Gelefu Mindfulness City. Let me go straight to Mr. Ugyen Tenjing. Ugyen, you know, like a lot of people, they're talking about, okay, Bhutan is a country seeped in spiritualism, seeped in conventional values, tradition, you know, and here we are talking about how is it going to cope with the modern technologies, or for that matter, you know, all the modern things that are going to come up with the coming up of a mega city. So how do you look at it? How is it going to sync tradition and modernity that will come with the launch of the GMC?
Mr. Hussain, GMC will be the example of how issues where we seek a fusion of tradition and modern roots. As you are very aware, even construction of the airport, even the airport will have all traits of this architecture. If you look at the design of the whole of GMC, you will see that there is a trait of spirituality of Bhutanese every aspect of GMC. Now, I'm sure you must have heard that there are a lot of leaders, religious leaders, belonging to different sects of Buddhism. So they are going to establish their own like temples and all in Gelefu. I think, if I'm not mistaken, there are 5 of them. So you can just look at. And as I look,
5 spiritual centers are coming up.
Maybe more than 5, 8 or 9 centers are going to come into Bhutan. I mean, in Gelefu. So now, mindfulness is a concept. Now, I'm not talking about what His Majesty would have thought about mindfulness, but from my own reading, mindfulness is a concept that's gaining global recognition. The mindfulness industry, as they core, runs into trillions of dollars, billions and trillions of dollars. And there, within Gelefu, like I said, to reiterate, the fusion of tradition and modernity comes there. We have spiritual houses within Gelefu. We have pilgrims from around the world coming to Gelefu. We have even like people from Assam coming to Gelefu. So that's where everything will happen. And I don't think like we should, if you are worried about how we might lose our cultural traits or the spiritual thing with the GMC in the picture.
There's nothing to fear.
Nothing to fear about that.
That has been taken care of already. Absolutely. Let me go to once again to you, Daso Arun Kapoor. You know, when His Majesty first met Prime Minister Modi, you know, Prime Minister Modi is also another leader who thinks much beyond his time. That is the reason why India is on course to become perhaps a $1 trillion economy very soon. And it is actually going to happen by all accounts. Now, His Majesty the King has toured the world. We have noticed his travels, how he has been meeting with world leaders. Apart from that, he has been meeting. He has already met Prime Minister Modi twice. And I'm sure he's talked about his vision of the Gelefu Mindfulness City. And if media reports are to be believed, then Prime Minister Modi said that I am with you as far as the GMC is concerned. It's an excellent super idea. Now, he has also met the Indian business tycoons. His Majesty has personally met each of the Indian business tycoons. Now, what can be India's role, and do you see a lot of Indian investment, because His Majesty has gone around the world? Do you think this will be the first opportunity for Indian businesses to really invest big time in Bhutan?
Yeah, so I think if you want to look at it from that point of view, if you go back to the first hydropower station was with the Tatas. That was the first, going back a long time. Since then, there have not been any other private investment, you're quite right, so much into Bhutan, but this will be a huge opportunity, and His Majesty has met them. They have come to Bhutan. There has been a toing and froing of the people, and like we said, everybody here is saying it's an amazing opportunity, even from a business point of view, whether Indian or not. It is a huge opportunity to bring about change with a thoughtfulness behind it. That's the important aspect that is available to the Indians. And like you rightly said, that he's met them, they have come, and now a lot of conversations have happened, are happening as we speak, with the Indian industrialists coming in and wanting to invest. I think that is not a matter of concern at all. But not just Indians, people from all over the world, which you rightly said, are coming. And it's a great opportunity. It will be a huge game changer for this region where this will happen.
Yeah, but Dr. Lote Chering, His Majesty said a very important thing. Since we are talking about business at this point of time, he said that as and when Gelefu Mindfulness City comes up, there could be, lot of real estate developing there, villas, houses, cottages, whatever. And it's not that, anybody having money will just land up and buy. It will not be like that. They will have to be by invitation. Thereby, we get what happens ultimately, we don't know, because these are his initial thoughts. But going by what His Majesty said is that there will be some kind of thoughtfulness, that is the word you used. It's a business with a lot of thoughtfulness behind. It's not that, any XYZ having money. Today, money is not a big deal. Everybody has money. A lot of people will have money. Nobody can just land up and buy cottages and spoil things around. That is not the idea. So, can you tell us something about what kind of a shape, the administrative structure? Now, you are the governor of the GMC. And how is it going to be governed? What will be the structure like?
Well, I think this is a very good question. I think I need a couple of hours to answer this question completely.
I'll give you a couple of minutes.
Actually, this is a very good question because, as we were saying, as you may have realized, GMC is unprecedented. Such projects had never taken place in any part of the world before. Therefore, architect has to be totally different. What many people are hearing are actually what is coming up, like the airport, the roads and bridges, the infrastructural part. The heavy duty part is actually the governance structure, the governance, the software part of it. And as you have rightly said, since GMC is a unique project, never done before, His Majesty the King frankly says that he only has the vision behind it. He really cannot, he doesn't have the know-how of day-to-day governance, how to start off and how to run it. Therefore, His Majesty went around, tried to identify domain experts from the world, and then depending on the phase of the project, he has identified the right people in place and put them to task. So you have rightly mentioned that current CEO, Mr. Man Leong, is the founding CEO of Changi Airport. He's the man who brought the capital lands to where it is today, with lots of success stories under his belt. And His Majesty managed to get him to be the CEO. And then many work streams are being managed by domain experts. For example, even the foreign relations lead, we have outstanding diplomat from Singapore, Jonathan Tao, who is actually His Majesty's envoy to look after the external affairs of GMC. So like that, we have many domain experts who are heading the work streams. So my part as local governance, as governor, as a Bhutanese, what I do mainly is to be stationed there in Gelefu, try to understand His Majesty's vision, which is the most difficult part, by the way, and then try to analyze that and make sure that people living in Gelefu understands the vision. I want to make sure that people living in Gelefu should know without any doubt what is coming their way. Many things are coming their way immediately, and many things are coming the way of their children, because GMC is mostly for future of the country and future citizens.
Now, are you framing a different set of laws? How is the GMC going to be governed by what set of laws? Will it be the laws that govern the rest of Bhutan, or you'll have a separate, you consider it as a separate autonomous region? What is it the end product going to be?
GMC legally is structured as two system, one country. Within country, Bhutan, we have two systems now, Royal Government of Bhutan system and GMC system. So this is a two system, one country, which is totally autonomous in all aspects of its governance, be it legislative, judiciary, and executive.
So are you going to have a separate currency? Where is the arbitration going to be held?
We already have our own laws, beginning to have our own laws, mostly will be common law based, and most of the financial regulations will be Abu Dhabi financial regulation law
Abu
based.
Dhabi?
Yes.
Okay.
So those are the minimum common infrastructure that we need to have in place.
So the financial regulations will be as followed by Abu Dhabi? Mostly.
We don't go with any country's specific norms.
Yeah.
We go with what
model.
is best.
You are modeling it on that.
Yes, and adapt that for GMC.
Okay. And what about the legal aspects? Are you following any particular country's legal system? Arbitration, where is it going to be held?
Yes and no. We will go around, we'll try to understand what is really required, what is most applicable, best practices in the world, and try to bring that in Bhutan. For now, we are mostly going with common laws, mostly from Singapore. And even for arbitration, whatever can be done in Bhutan will be done in Bhutan. And most of commercial arbitrations will go to Singapore International Arbitration Center.
What about currency?
Currency, currently, of course, we have Bhutan, so we have Niltrum. And then current businesses will be done in USD. And then as things evolve, GMC will have its own currency.
Okay. So there is a breaking news element in what Dasho Lotechering just said. Let me turn to Mr. Rapsel Dorji. Mr. Rapsel Dorji, what are some of the major sectors? Obviously, all business sectors are not going to come and open shop in GMC. What are some of the major sectors you have already identified or you'd like to come and set up business in GMC, as and when it becomes operational?
Thank you, Mr. Hussain. Let's look at this in terms of a trust economy, and that's where the GMC really, and Bhutan really positions itself in. We've identified 8 core economic clusters that will drive the GMC, and these economic clusters are kind of aligned with larger regional and global trends towards mindfulness and sustainability. And so we've done a lot of work in identifying 8 economic clusters. I'll go into each one of them. The first one is spirituality. We had discussed a bit about how we infuse and embed spirituality in Bhutan naturally, and of course at the GMC as well. But we believe that in this day and age, the GMC can be a hub for Vajrayana Buddhism, for Buddhism at large, for spirituality. And so we've invited already 8 Buddhist masters to build their centers. And we've already received, in fact, many of their proposals. In fact, there's another 15 of them who have also submitted their proposals. And we open this to all spiritual masters. So that's one, the spiritual work stream.
Sorry, when you say we have invited Buddhist masters, that means you have invited from all over the world?
Yes, all over the world.
Okay.
Buddhism has a lot of different schools and different lineages, and the GMC will be a hub for all of those different practices. And so the DNA of the GMC, of course, is very much founded on spiritual. The second one is in health and wellness. And now Bhutan has a whole ancient tradition and ancient wisdom on this. We're known as the land of medicinal herbs. So how can we marry that with modern medicine to have integrative medicine? How can we be a place for longevity? How can we bring R&D around that? How can we be a blue zone for the world? And so the second one is in bringing health and wellness. The third one is in education and thought leadership. And of course we have Dr. Arun Kapoor, who's heavily involved in this, and he's been a game changer for us in Bhutan. How can we try to bring in schools, universities, research centers, institutes into the GMC? For a space and a place that is very clean and green and safe, we believe that in the larger South Asian region, we have a unique selling proposition for that.
Yeah.
That's 3. The fourth one is around agri-tech and forestry. And agri-tech and forestry is almost natural for Bhutan, given our background as the first carbon negative country in the world, smart agriculture. So how do we leverage that? The fourth area is around finance. The fifth one is around finance and digital banking, really. And so we've already started a full reserve digital bank in the GMC. We want to attract family offices and wealth management. And again, we're really here betting on what we believe will be the growth of larger South Asia. Then we have aviation and logistics. And this is where, again, Assam and India comes in. Because we want to be a regional connectivity hub. And so we're building this international airport. We're going to see a huge wave of exchange of ideas of people to people, but also commerce and industry and trade. And so that connectivity hub that the GMC will bring will complement what Northeast India is doing as well. And then finally, we have, of course, tourism that cuts across all of these different sectors, and we will continue to grow in that.
Now, that is a very important point that you said, aviation. Now, Guwahati is also becoming a huge aviation hub now.
Yes.
We are already, the international airport in Guwahati is the 10th busiest airport in the country. And now a huge new terminal, international airport is being built. Now, that Guwahati airport and the airport in Gelefu International Airport, which will be very close by, and all the Asian tiger economies are within 3 hours of flying distance from both Gelefu as well as Guwahati. So that is going to be a huge, that can change everything, isn't it? If you complement and supplement each other.
This is exactly the right word, is complement and supplement. And it's a game changer.
Yeah.
We're very excited by the developments that are happening right across the border in Assam. We're very happy for our friends. And we believe that with the Gelefu International Airport and with the Assam International Airport, Guwahati's International Airport, we will be able to change the game for the Northeast and for Bhutan, for this larger region. And we believe that together we can bring in more trade and commerce and investments, as I was mentioning.
Absolutely.
And so we're looking for a very complementary role, and we're very excited by that future, actually.
Right. Mr. Dao Panjor, whenever there is a big project, I'm talking from my Indian experience, Dashar and Kapoor will bear me out. Now, whenever there is a big project, there is always some kind of protest. When you build a dam, there will be opposition to it because people are going to be evicted. Whenever there is a big project, people have to be moved. Otherwise land is scarce. Now, I understand that you have been able to move people very easily as far as Gelefu is concerned. How you have been able to do it? What has been your approach to these people? Are you completely rehabilitating them and looking after their future? What have you been doing? Those people who are affected, whether it is by the airport or whether it is by the city that is going to come up.
One thing I'd like to build on to what our governor had mentioned. When it's the word of His Majesty, it's a golden word, So everyone is rallying behind it. There is no one who's really unhappy about it, things like that. They readily and willingly give everything. I think this is the beauty with Bhutan. And this is something rare that doesn't happen in any country. So I think that is the context that the international and people in India, our friends in India, need to understand, because that is very important, because as you rightly pointed out, any big project in other countries, in other parts of the world, there's always a protest because people have to be moved out and they're unhappy about it, about compensation or anything. In Bhutan's case, it's very different. So as I said, everyone is rallying behind the king, and people know that this is being done for the interest of the nation and for the people and the future of our citizens. So that's why till date we have people would be a little discomfort. There would be a little discomfort, but His Majesty has compensated it so well that actually, if you look at our media, some have gone out and said, "Oh, I only paid about 100,000 to build my cow shed. Today I'm getting 500,000. It's just for a cow shed." And complimented. And the other thing is about tokenization when it comes to the land, where you're again talking about future values. You're giving back to the people. It's not about, it's taken away by GMC or for the development. It's actually given back to them.
Given back to them, and the people are also contributing to the country's future.
So this is exactly the volunteer. When volunteer, everyone wants to contribute. So actually, you don't contribute, you feel you are not part of it. So this is the excitement we have in Bhutan. So even from the school kids, they want to do something. They want to do something. So this is the beauty of it.
Now, I'm coming to a close. Ugyen Tenzing, the media around the world, has focused a lot on the GMC. Some of them are curious, some of them are puzzled, some of them are absolutely fascinated with the idea, because there are all kinds of different types of coverage to that. So, what are your thoughts as a journalist?
My thoughts as a journalist, as it's a very important project for Bhutan, number one. As it's a very important project for, like our friends mentioned, India, number two. As it's a very important project for the region. I think the role of the media here is very important. Now, I won't go to the global dynamics. Let's talk about India and Bhutan. Now, what the Indian media should do, what the Bhutanese media should do, is talk about GMC in the context of Indo-Bhutan relations, in the context of complementing each other. in the context of how Assam will gain from that thing. Mr. Hussain, let's go to the basics. You asked the question, how will the people benefit? As we moved from Giliford to Guwahati, I saw a lot of vibrant Indian people working. We have ample opportunities for them in Giliford, in Bhutan. Assam will have to feed the people in Giliford. There will be millions of people there in the future. Right now we see Assam like selling your sugar cane, rice all to Dubai, other places. You will not need to do it. You can like sell it in Giliford itself. I see Assamese and Indians coming to Giliford and working. You will not have to go to Dubai, or you will not have to go to the US, UK, facing the problems of visa, blah, blah, blah. I see people from Bongaigaon taking a bus or a train going to Giliford, working there, coming back. The complementary. What I say is, most of the time with my friends is that I think it's a joint venture. It should be a joint venture between India and Bhutan, between Assam and Bhutan. So in this context, the media...
There'll be ample opportunity for people from both sides.
Yeah. So the media here needs to play that role, that vibrant role.
As Dasho Arun Kapoor said, it's a win-win situation for both Bhutan. My final word from you, Dasho Lotechering, are you absolutely optimistic? This is a game-changer moment for Bhutan? There has been several game-changer moments for Bhutan. One was when His Majesty decided to introduce parliamentary democracy in Bhutan. That surprised the world because nobody thought that is going to actually happen. And the second game-changing moment was when the fourth king, when he was still young, he abdicated and invited his son, the present king, to be, take over charge. Now we saw the present king, His Majesty's unique grand project. There's been several game-changing moments in Bhutan, but do you think at the end of the day, this is something that Bhutan has been waiting for? This is going to bring huge economic benefits to the state, fuse tradition and modernity together, and give a lot of opportunity to the youths of Bhutan who are looking for opportunities. Maybe that is the reason why they are going abroad. And do you think that is going to stop people from going abroad? Obviously, see, it's free. Everybody is free to go out and work. But at the end of the day, there will be enough incentive at home.
Yeah, I mean, before you conclude, I would like to thank everyone, Mr. Hussain, yourself, and then request yourself, especially being stationed here in Guwahati and Assam, to follow GMC very closely. I don't think GMC is a chapter that we can just discuss over 1 hour.
Absolutely, yes.
So follow us.
Yes.
A lot of things are evolving.
Yes.
What we are saying is what we have heard. What is there is what we have not heard. His Majesty is working on it on a daily basis. So I'm sure there will be many that will unfold over time. And then to answer your question, GMC is not really to stop Bhutanese youth going out. GMC is there to innovate and create a very conducive environment for anybody in the world to come and play the game. And then I think one of the biggest outcome of GMC is many like-minded people from the world will gather in GMC and start incubating their ideas, where Bhutanese young boys and girls will also get to participate in that.
Yeah.
I think that would be one unique outcome of GMC. So overall, what I can tell you today is, if you have not noticed, you see how Prime Minister Modi's leadership have taken India from where to where India is now. Similarly, we see a rising star in Assam, Himantaji's leadership. We are seeing that, we are feeling it because we are immediate neighbors.
Absolutely.
And then His Majesty the King in Bhutan is also taking Bhutan to a different height.
Yes.
Bhutan had always been Bhutan the way you all know us. But His Majesty, what His Majesty is doing now is to make Bhutan relevant to the region and to the world. So therefore, I see this triad between His Majesty the King in Bhutan, Prime Minister Modi ji in Delhi, and Himantaji in Guwahati. I think this triad can probably be used as an example of how to work together to bring about change in the world. I think that would be great.
Absolutely. The Giliford Mindfulness City is going to change, definitely. There is enough optimism, enough facts to suggest that this could actually be a game changer, not just for Bhutan, but for the whole region as a whole. And I'd like to thank all my panelists and esteemed guests from Bhutan tonight for participating on the show, and the viewers for watching the program. Good night and goodbye.
Udaya Chal's handmade fundraising event. Join us for a unique and meaningful experience. Udaya Chal proudly presents a handmade fundraising event. Event details: date 8th August, time 12:30 p.m. onwards. Venue City Centre, ground floor. Your steps in our journey will take us a long way. Your support will make a tangible difference in the lives of those in need. Contact 9101 654 676 and 8811 80361. Let's craft a brighter future.
নিম, হালধি, চন্দন, এলোভেৰা, মঞ্জিষ্ঠা, পাম তথা নাৰিকলৰ তেল আদিৰে প্ৰস্তুত কৰা পতঞ্জলি বাথ সোপ ব্যৱহাৰ কৰক। প্ৰাকৃতিক স্বচ্ছতা তথা সৌন্দৰ্য লাভ কৰক।
প্ৰথমবাৰৰ বাবে নিযুত মইনা আঁচনিৰ ৰূপায়ণ আৰম্ভ কৰিছিলোঁ আৰু এই আঁচনিখনে আজি গৌৰৱেৰে সৈতে দ্বিতীয় বছৰত ভৰি দিলে।
মুখ্যমন্ত্ৰী নিযুত মইনা আঁচনিয়ে আমাৰ ছোৱালীবোৰক বহুত সহায় কৰিছে। It reduces the child marriages from our society.
কিতাপ পত্ৰ আমাৰ কিনিব লগা হৈছে, যোনটোৰ কাৰণে আমি নিযুত মইনা আঁচনি দি পোৱা পইচাটোৰ পৰা আমি সেইখিনি কিনিব পাৰিছোঁ।
এই আঁচনিখনৰ জৰিয়তে ক্ৰমাগতভাৱে ইয়াৰ কলেবৰ বৃদ্ধি কৰি আমি 10 লাখ আৰু 10 লাখকে আমি এক নিযুত বুলি কওঁ। 10 লাখ ছাত্ৰীৰ জীৱনত আমি এটা যোগাত্মক প্ৰভাৱ বা ইতিবাচক প্ৰভাৱ আমি পেলাব বিচাৰো।
I am grateful to our Chief Minister, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma sir.
ডক্টৰ হিমন্ত বিশ্ব শৰ্মা ডাঙৰীয়াক ধন্যবাদ জনাইছোঁ।
ডক্টৰ হিমন্ত বিশ্ব শৰ্মা ছাৰক বহুত বহুত ধন্যবাদ জ্ঞাপন কৰিছোঁ।
এই আঁচনিৰ অধীনত উচ্চতৰ মাধ্যমিক, স্নাতক, স্নাতকোত্তৰ আৰু BEd পাঠ্যক্ৰমৰ ছাত্ৰীসকলক সামৰি লোৱা হৈছে। এই আঁচনিৰ অধীনত উচ্চতৰ মাধ্যমিকৰ একাদশ আৰু দ্বাদশ শ্ৰেণীত নামভৰ্তি কৰা প্ৰতিগৰাকী ছাত্ৰীয়ে মাহিলী 1000 টকাকৈ, স্নাতক পাঠ্যক্ৰমত নামভৰ্তি কৰা প্ৰতিগৰাকী ছাত্ৰীয়ে মাহিলী 1250 টকাকৈ, স্নাতকোত্তৰ পাঠ্যক্ৰমত নামভৰ্তি কৰা প্ৰতিগৰাকী ছাত্ৰীয়ে প্ৰতিমাহে 2500 টকাকৈ উদগনি লাভ কৰিব। ছাত্ৰীসকলে নিজ শিক্ষা অনুষ্ঠানত প্ৰপত্ৰ জমা দিব লাগিব। অধ্যক্ষ বা পঞ্জীয়কে তথ্য পৰ্টেলত আপলোড কৰিব। বিদ্যালয় মহাবিদ্যালয়ে SCERT, দৰ্পণ আৰু সমৰ্থ পৰ্টেল ব্যৱহাৰ কৰিব। নিযুত মইনা 2.0
নালাগেও, দাঁতৰ বিষ মোৰ। যিহেৰে তই ব্ৰাছ কৰ সেইটো টুথপেষ্ট, তই কিহেৰে কৰ? সেয়া চা, মই ব্ৰাছ কৰো দানকান্তিৰে। ই সাধাৰণ টুথপেষ্ট নহয়, টুথপেষ্ট হয়।
আকাৰকাৰা, লং, পিপ্লিৰ দৰে 16বিধ আয়ুৰ্বেদিক তত্ত্বৰ মিশ্ৰণ, যি দাঁতৰ ক্ষয়, কেভিটি, পায়েৰিয়াৰ বিৰুদ্ধে যুঁজে আৰু দাঁত আৰু আলু কৰি ৰাখে প্ৰাকৃতিকভাৱে শক্তিশালী।
Welcome to the special show, Dr. Kalam.
Thank you, Wasbir.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How has the world changed?
There's quite a bit of change.
The one and only Sadhguru.
I was not a child prodigy.
Ustad Zakir Hussain Saab, welcome.
Thank you.
Jinat Manji, welcome.
I was as a very westernized.
India rained hell on Pakistan. Welcome.